Happy Labor Day. We're back for round two, the second of two shows today. Working extra hard on Labor Day. The irony, man, Devin's putting us to work for sure here, but we're here for the people, and work is in air quotes, right? We're talking about baseball, right? Good times for sure. Get to watch some baseball games, tilting some right now. I think it's already over for your boy. Who really knows as far as the always slate? But that's why we get a clean slate for the night slate. Well, like the first one didn't even happen. We got a 6-gamer once again, 6-gamer on Fanduel, 6-gamer on DK. No issues as far as as I can tell, so nothing goofy is going to happen. We do have Chief Meteorologist Kevin Roth coming in about an hour or so. Yeah, we're not going to 7:15 or 7:05 because lock is 6:40 tonight, so it's an hour and 40-ish minutes of nonstop MLB DFS conversation. Some bets, I'm sure. Will's going to sprinkle some in, probably some prize picks as well. Chief, how was your Monday doing? You were about to say something pre-show, and then we we're going to do it live. Let's keep it organic. What was on your mind? I know we're talking some college football.
Yeah. I mean, I'm just saying I hope Georgia Tech can keep the game close. I don't care about either team. I would just prefer Clemson not beat them 52-7. Like let's have a little bit of back and forth for some part of the game. So yeah, there you have it. I definitely think DJ is going to play much better this year. He was a good quarterback coming out of California. So I'm expecting him to play much better this season than he did last year. Also, football is NFL, excuse me, not football, because football is too general. NFL is upon us. Props are coming out of the wazoo right now. I'm getting excited, man. I've got a whole board of NFL props to go through on several sites. For those of you that are in the prop streets, Underdog is now a flex site as well. What does that mean for you in terms of a flex opportunity? Well, on Underdog, you had to get them all right to be profitable. If you got 2 out of 3 right, you weren't going to be profitable. You were locked into basically losing money. Well, now Underdog is giving you the opportunity to make a few dollars. Even if you don't get it quite right, you still got to get, or you can only get one wrong. And they're still going to give you the option, Dean. I'm not sure if you understand the Underdog payout, but Underdog has 20x if you get 5 correctly. They've got 10x if you get 4 correctly, 6x if you get 3 correctly, 3x if you get them 2 correctly, so forth and so on. So if you choose 2 props, you get them both right. 3x, 3 props, 4 props, 5 props. Now they've given you the option a little bit closer to a prize picks format. If you have a flex or what they call insurance is what Underdog is calling it. You can take a lower payout for the 5x or for the 5 props. So instead of a 20x with no insurance, if you have insurance, your maximum payout is 10x your investment. However, if you get 4 correct and 1 wrong, your payout is now 2.5x. So case in point, if you put in $100 and you get all 5 right with insurance, you're going to get back $1,000. If you get 4 out of 5 right, you're going to get back $250. I think that's fantastic. I think Underdog is opening this up to compete with prize picks for sure. I think they did a heck of a job there. I'm saying all that because, listen, we're going to be talking props galore. I'm not going to hog this show up with prop talk. Catch that tomorrow night at 7:30. The Prop Shop show will be in full effect, and we can talk all the props you want. Dean, I'm going to kick it back over to you because I'm getting real excited. So I can talk about this stuff.
Is that on this
all
channel?
day.
Is that on this channel? I think it's yourself and Britt, right? Is that you guys do the show on this channel, I presume?
Absolutely. Live at 7:30 every Tuesday for NFL season. Getting an early look at the board.
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, getting an early look at the board, getting our takes. You know just as well as I know, Dean, sometimes the early bird gets the worm. And I'm telling you right now, some of the props I've seen just right out of the gate, I already know. Yeah, this is wrong. Like, this is flat out wrong. And so being able to get that in early, which is another reason, Dean, that it's good to have a strong bankroll, right? And I know sometimes when you're a young player, you feel like you need to wager it all every day to try to get your bankroll up quickly. slow and steady wins the race. Always leave yourself room because, listen, your money's going to be tied up from Tuesday to Sunday if you pick up on some of these props. But getting them on Tuesday may be the advantageous spot, at least for some of them. Some of them may work in retrospect where they say, oh, a guy's going to be limited. You get it later in the week where his props been pumped up. You can take some unders, so forth and so on. But generally speaking, you want to get it in early because when the lines come out, there's less information. So the better I can be at information gathering, the better your bankroll is going to become. And so, you're trusting me to give you good intel and myself, Britt, to give you good intel. Trust me, we're digging. Britt and I've been finding plays all day, digging for information all day. We'll give that to you on tomorrow, but it's going to be a ton of fun. And I'm really excited about the show because I think props is a big thing. I feel like it's become the I think prop play is the second coming of DFS. The prop sites are the reinvention of DFS in its own way. And I think, I know FanDuel has a sports book and DK has a sports book, and that I think that's their leg. But, these prop sites have really done a spectacular job in trying to, for those of us that don't have a sports book, give us options to get involved. I've gotten involved. It's been fantastic. And hopefully you guys continue to join me along for the ride. Don't just watch the Prop Shop show. Get in the Prop Shop, and you'll get more than just NFL. And I'll leave it at that.
Yeah, and the Discord channel, of course, there are premium Discord channels. Your channel happens to be free. If you like this kind of conversation and you like to be, at 1 o'clock in the morning and you want to discuss props, there'll probably be somebody there to discuss them with you, just bouncing those ideas off each other. And when I was out there in Colorado in a legalized sports gambling state, you talk about the early bird and the worm and the whole deal. Some of the best lines I got when I was out there in Colorado was me up in 3 o'clock in the morning, like trying to figure out the next day and seeing what is wrong. And you wake up and that stuff always gets corrected. And like whatever props are on Sunday, they are going to be much, much sharper and it's much tougher to beat on a Sunday, as opposed to when you're talking about them on a Tuesday. You got to be quick. The books are going to be reactionary. That's just the way it's going to go. And there's so many player props out there that there's just going to be edges because they just can't be perfect about everything. And they, their resources, they spend more time figuring out the lines for the actual game, right? And then that's more of a traditional bet. And like you talk about as far as props, they are, what do we have? 20, 25 states now that have ratified for sports gambling or on the way for sports gambling. It's taken over the country. 6, 7, 8 years ago, could you imagine the NBA is a sponsor with MGM and like you can't watch a baseball game without like a FanDuel or a DK ad or a billboard? It's become mainstream. And like, people that wouldn't even dabble in that kind of thing, all of a sudden they're watching the game, wanting to have a little bit of fun. For sure, it is the wave of the future. Producer Devin's having a little fun today as well for Labor Day. Speaking of Discord, we're giving away, I guess it's just 1 week free. I don't know. Sometimes it's 1, sometimes it's 2, sometimes it's 3. We're going to have a little giveaway in the Discord channel. How do you partake? You can get yourself 1 week free of RotoGrinders Premium, which would include week 1 of the NFL season, all the NFL content, all the sports with the exception of NASCAR, baseball, of course. And don't worry, we're going to get the baseball. There's plenty of time to knock that out. We're here for another hour and a half or so. But jump in the RotoGrinders Discord, rotogrinders.com/Discord. The live stream chat channel, just hit the enter button where it says click enter. It's dummy proof. Anybody can do it. And you're eligible to win yourself 1 week free of RotoGrinders Premium. That's all you got to do. And at some point throughout the show, the clock will start ticking down. We'll let you know who wins that. Devin will let you know in the Discord. Our thoughts as far as the slate tonight, it's a good one as far as pitching, man. And it's I don't know. I'm curious to get your thoughts, Will, because we have Blake Snell, who historically is kind of up and down, right? He's more up and down of late. We have Andrew Heaney, who's been fabulous. Just they only let him go so deep, but he's been spectacular. He's got the highest K rate on the slate by a good bit, by a good margin, if you kind of line them up. We also got 2 rookies, never pitched before in the majors going tonight. Hunter Brown's the more interesting one of the 2 for Houston. Top 70 prospect in all of baseball. Heaney, by the way, 35.4% as far as the K rate. Snell is next. Then Lance Lynn, who's got a pretty good price. I think he's playable. I think Tristan McKenzie, we'll probably talk about him. We will definitely talk about him. Is the most interesting one for me for tournaments because we've seen his upside. 4 of his last 11 games, 1 of which against Houston, 1 of which against the Yankees, where he's put up, I think, at least 32 DK points. He's had some bad starts too, but we're shooting for upside. I think McKenzie's really interesting. Give me your slates here, your thoughts as far as pitching, because I think the pitchers are pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely think in terms of the slate, generally speaking, Blake Snell has the highest upside, and he's also priced accordingly. On DK, where Tristan McKenzie is a little bit more than Blake Snell. I don't have anything against Tristan McKenzie, and I think he's going to be fine today. Kansas City is a strikeout machine right now, for what it's worth. So I'm not saying that Tristan McKenzie isn't worth it, but generally speaking, Mr. Snell is going to have a lot more upside than McKenzie, and he's also cheaper by about $500. So I still, even from yesterday, I'm still on Snell overall. I still think he's the better play, if you will. You look at his K rate in the season, he's at 30%. Is he going to walk some guys? Yes. Will all of the strikeouts be there? No, but I'm still willing to roll the dice. I think he got enough stuff to get us there. I did want to talk about McKenzie because I do think he's still viable. So this isn't me saying yesterday I didn't think I was going to play McKenzie at all. But today, when I look over this lineup, I mean, it's just bad, man. Like it's too many strikeouts to not play McKenzie. So essentially on paper, McKenzie is probably the better play, if that makes any sense, right? However, I understand that Blake Snell has more strikeout upside than McKenzie on a day-to-day basis. And so, we've got Snell, at least on Fanduel, I think Snell's projected at 30-ish%. And I think McKenzie is somewhere around 14, which is, it's kind of one of those weird things where do I agree with this? Yes. But do I think you write McKenzie off completely? No. When you look at the DK ownership, then, Snell's at 48%. And you've got McKenzie at 23%. And that's where it starts to get interesting, because McKenzie does have the better matchup. Like, that's not a secret. McKenzie's matchup is better. Blake Snell has more strikeout upside. And so as a result, I think I'm going over the field on McKenzie. And I might be equal to Snell, but I think McKenzie against this bad Royals offense overall, he shouldn't be almost half the ownership, I don't think, of Blake Snell on this slate. Like maybe, if Snell was 40 and Snell's about 50 almost. He's 48, and McKenzie was around 35-ish. That feels a little bit closer to what it should be. But when Snell's around 48, McKenzie's around 24, like that's half the ownership. I can't imagine that Blake Snell outscores McKenzie by that much on this slate when McKenzie has the better matchup. So I know I said a mouthful there just to talk about two pitchers, Dean, but I do think that's kind of the deciding factor on this slate in terms of those two, because clearly Lance Lynn is too cheap. So I don't have to sell you on Lance Lynn. He's 7,900. He's too cheap. He's one of the higher ownership plays on the slate. But I do think Tristan McKenzie deserves a little bit more respect than half of Blake Snell's ownership against a bad Royals team.
I also play a lot of like single entry and 3-entry max stuff. And we know like the best options get elevated, right, as far as ownership. I think it's going to be a greater distance, right? Because we got Snell at 48% on DK and McKenzie at 24%. But like you said, McKenzie's $500 more, and like Snell's quote unquote the better play. I think it's going to be even a bigger disparity in single entry and 3-entry max stuff. And the same deal on FanDuel, where Snell is 10.3 and McKenzie's 10.5. We got Snell at 31%, 14% for McKenzie. I think McKenzie's more like 10 and Snell is more like 35. So I'm embracing that. I think that's a great way to go. Look, I like Snell too. I like pairing them together on DK. I think that's absolutely another route I'm going to go also. And you mentioned Lynn. I think Lynn's going to get some ownership on DK because he's pretty cheap. He should probably be a little bit more expensive than 7.9.
He should have been at least 8,500 in this spot, at least.
Yeah. I mean, like it's, Lane is never a guy that's like fun the roster, but he's an innings eater and he's pretty good. Seattle's is a fine offense. There's some power there. Usually,
Martin Perez is more than him facing Houston today. That's my argument. Like, come on, what are we doing?
What are we doing? Well, I'll tell you what I'm doing. I'm not rostering Martin Perez. We can cross him off the list, right? Like, that's not happening.
X button, like with the quickness. X button. When
is this? Let's see, Devin. When are we firing up the old Discord promo? When are we let the people know? Because
we'll do it in about 15.
All right. Yeah. All right. I just took a peek right now, and I wanted to, Devin. We kind of the audience grows as the show grows. I wanted to, let people be aware. Feel free to, if I don't remember, just drop it in the chat. Let the people know in about 10 or 15 minutes or so when it fires up in the Discord channel. But this is why you subscribe, by the way. You subscribe because you get to watch, you get the notifications. You know when all the football shows are going down. Your phone's going to be dinging a lot, though, just a heads up, because there's going to be a ton of football shows. If I can toot my horn for my show, I'm not the star. I'm the third smartest person in the room for sure. Fourth, if you count Devin, producer Devin. But we got the Pick Six show is back, Will. Wednesday nights we do it. That's kind of when my NFL week starts. John Daigle and Rich Rebar, absolutely two of the best. They're going to fire off so many stats and just blow your mind. And
let me just say, Dean, I'm sorry to interrupt you. I do that a ton. Please forgive me.
Good.
Rich Rebar, though, I must say, I think Rich, if there was I think Rich Rebar gets the quote of the DFS decade, okay? And I think you know what I'm talking about. This is like 2 or 3 seasons ago, and Rich says, Chris Hogan is just out here exercising.
Yeah.
I mean, that's like I don't even think people understand how impactful that statement was. Like, Rich deserves an award just on that quote. Like, that's the DFS NFL quote of the decade. I can't stress enough. If you didn't watch that show, like, just go back into the archives. You need to at least enjoy that one. That was, I got to tell you, man, quote of the decade, Rich Rebar. My hat, the respect, Jeff, goes off to Rich for that one. All right, Dean, sorry. Back to you,
We've all stole that line from him every once in a while. I'm sure I've stolen it and used it before. And my understanding, you're right, he's the origin of just talking about players that are their stat rate's 97%. What are their targets? 0. There's no targets. Just literally just running out there and for no particular reason. I guess there's a football game going on and they're lining up for no reason. They don't want to be offsides. That would be egregious, but nobody's going to throw Chris Hogan the ball, certainly. In chat they're talking about we're going to have 3 live shows on Sunday morning. Yeah. Sunday morning we're going to be, I want to say, I don't know for certain. I have not seen the schedule, but I would guess it starts
I believe 10:30 Eastern.
Yeah, that's what it was last year, right? 10:30 Eastern is when I usually started up at 10:30. We healed at 10:20 or 10:30, and then the GPP Final Take show. Then there's the Crunch Time show. And has that been officially released, Evan? Have I missed the memo? I just assumed.
No, we've got live. Sure, I'm pretty sure we have graphics that we're going to be doing big social media announcements and stuff like that. Probably, if not later today, maybe tomorrow. So
yeah, there you go.
And listen, I'm going to be plugging stuff as much as I can. Get over to SAO. I'm sure all of us are going to start posting early props. I know I have. I posted one early NFL prop already. I'm going to try to maybe post, especially after we do the prop shop show. Like, early props are going in. Like, they're going in. Craig, if you're watching this show, you're going to be in heaven every week when it comes to the old Chiefster, because after the prop shop show, SAO is going to be chock full of early NFL action. Shout out to Craig for heading up SAO, man. We appreciate you, brother. So excited to be on the team and try to hook you guys up with what I feel like is going to be a very profitable NFL season. And listen, I'm not just telling you this. You can go and click my name in SAO and see what my track record has been for MLB, at least over the past 30 days. I promise I'm up units. I don't know how many exactly, but I know my record has been fairly well. It should speak for itself. And we're going to do the same thing for NFL, folks. We're going to lead the charge and try to crush it.
And also, I guess we're knocking them all out, right? The Blitz show is back, and I presume you're on. This will be awkward.
Oh yes, I am on the Blitz yet again. I'm just glad Carty was hospitable enough to have me back. We've had a good run, I think, with the Blitz. Had $1 million winner last year, Dean, from the Blitz show. Us talking about it, them incorporating the ideas, using their own read on the plays as well. It's no greater achievement than providing people with intel and them putting your butt and winning $1 million. If I'm not going to win it, at least let a listener win it based off the information we provided. And that's the cool thing about DFS, right? We've all got the information. It's how you use it and put it together. That's going to determine your success. Same thing in the prop game, Dean, or prop parlays, right? We've all got the information. It's how do you put the winning plays together to achieve the 10x, the 20x, the 100x, however you put it together. That's the beauty of this business. Please play responsibly. Get your standard unit sizes together. Don't overextend. I think I just need to do it. I'm going to do a whole class on this in the prop shop, in fact. As a matter of fact, I might do just an on-demand live bankroll session right in the prop shop and just kind of show people some things that I've done to help myself be successful. When to actually nuke. There's a thing in the prop game, and I know I'm talking a lot, Dean. So, guys, if I'm hogging up the show and you want to talk about baseball, just throw it in the chat. I'm not going to be offended. If you're like, hey, we want to hear about our insurance, I'm not going to be offended. But sometimes, Dean, you need to, quote unquote, nuke a play. And so nuke means that, maybe standard unit size in my case is like $100. You say, oh man, these lines are wrong. I need to nuke this play, right? Maybe I need to put 5 units on it, 6 units. That's going to help increase your profitability. When you find lines that are absolutely wrong, that the sites have made a mistake on, like earlier today, Mr. Anderson from Detroit, Dean, this one was on Underdog, and I missed it. Quite frankly, I missed it. He had a pitch count prop of 3. No,
Alexander?
Yes. You heard me. Tyler Alexander had a pitch count prop of 3.
I like the
That's
over.
Of course. That's when you nuke something. They got it wrong. We already knew what happened. It was supposed to be a strikeout prop, but it came out as a pitch count prop. Of course, only a few people got it in. The prop was taken down immediately. I'm sure they're going to honor it. But my point is, that's when you pull out the big guns, right? Or if you've got a read on something that someone doesn't, like sometimes they'll put a pitch count prop that's just overinflated. A guy's coming back off the IL. They're basing it off his historical pitch performance. So I'm just saying those are the opportunities where you say, okay, probably need to nuke this. You feel really good that you're going to get it right. That's going to increase your ROI. You can't just run around nuking plays every day. It's going to deplete your bankroll unless you've got just tremendous blessing on your side. You can't nuke something every day. Stay disciplined, and the big wins will come. And then knowing when to increase your unit size. Like, we've got guys in the prop shop that started at $5 per, and they moved up to 10, and they moved up to 15 and 20, 25, and now they're at 50 or 100. And that's what it takes, because you don't want to drain your assets that you have available to you in the moment, in the twinkling of an eye. You want to have the knives at your disposal. So when you're able to nuke it, you want to be able to do that. All right, Dean, I'm going to shut up. We'll get into this is something I just need to do in the prop shop and talk about bankroll management and how you can really achieve a very robust bankroll quickly. And it doesn't have to take 6 months. I mean, you can do it in a month or two if you're disciplined and know how to structure your investments. All right, Dean, take it away. Back to you. Thank you, everybody, for listening to me get on this soapbox, and really excited to come on and hang out yet again.
Devin, do we know? Can you confirm or deny a Blitz show? Is that premium or non-premium? Do we know just yet?
That will be premium. Yes, it'll be for premium RG members and premium Blitz members.
All right. And, you could get 1 week free of RG Premium and check out that Blitz show. How do you go about doing that? You check out the Discord, RotoGrinders.com/Discord. That Discord giveaway is starting shortly. Devin's going to fire it up.
Starting it up now.
Enter button. There you go. Right there. Right on cue. Just click that enter button. And that's not the only thing you get. You get all the bells, all the whistles, the projections, the optimizer, all the rankings, all the articles. It's too much stuff to list. Every single sport, with the exception of NASCAR a la carte. I could probably stop saying that qualifier because isn't NASCAR kind of over now? I think it is. I don't know. Don't know. There's playoffs and stuff. Forget it. But just know that NASCAR is its own thing, right? Own little world. I see a question here in chat. Can you stack up Arizona as leverage? We're not really talking stacks and hitters just yet. Well, I think you can do that. But if you're going to do that, don't do it like in a 500 person or like a 600 person or 1,000 person field. Do that in the big fields. Do that in the big fields because it's unlikely to happen, but it's baseball and goofy variance happens all the time. Do it in a field where you're going to get paid off for it. Get yourself a bunch of Arizona, enough Arizona stacks where you have multiple routes if Snell happens to collapse, which is certainly possible, unlikely, but you don't want to do that like in a field of 100 people. That doesn't make any sense. The payoff is not worth the risk. Other pitchers that are of note here, Will, we talked about Snell, we talked about Lynn. I think Hunter Brown, especially on DK, is an SP2. The Ks are real, 31% or so in the minors. Of course, like a lot of young pitchers, the Ks are real, but also he can get wild. I think it was over 10% walks as well, but 5.2K, maybe you can get 5 innings out of him against a Texas team that I'm not necessarily afraid of. Jose Suarez is also, he does throw with his left hand, not his right hand. We prefer righties against Detroit, but they're bad against lefties too. I didn't rank him. I think if I could have ranked one more person, I would have got to Suarez, and I understand if he's in your pool. Singer I like, but I'm not necessarily picking on Cleveland. There's no discount. Cleveland, of course, is really contact heavy. What say you, Will, as far as Brown? You want to discuss Suarez? Does Singer do anything for you, or just check back in 5 days on Singer?
Yeah, check back in 5 days. And the thing about Singer is, I think this game could go either way. Cleveland does strike out, but Cleveland does not strike out a ton, but that doesn't mean Singer can't come out and strikeouts today, right? Because it's daily. They could be off. A ton of things can happen. But the data for the season suggests that Singer is not going to have a great strikeout day. And as a result, at 8,700, I'd be more inclined to avoid him against Cleveland. So that's where I am. I just spend extra money and get Tahini. Absolutely would just spin all the way up and get McKenzie or Snell. Even though Snell is in a similar situation as Singer, Snell does have historically more strikeout stuff than Singer. I will say this. I do think, and hear me out, Dean, I do think Singer is worth an investment on Prize Picks at 4 strikeouts, for what it's worth. He's at 4 flat. Like, are you asking for a push? Probably. But he's more likely to get 4 than he is to get 3, which gives him the opportunity to get 5. You get what I'm saying? Like, he's more likely to get 4 than 3, possible 5. I definitely think you take the over at 4 strikeouts. I also, though, the under on pitching outs for Singer today, he was at 18.5. I was shocked Prize Picks gave us 18.5 in terms of pitching outs when they were facing a low strikeout team like Cleveland. I just knew he would have been an 18 flat. Gave us 18.5. I took the under, but I may double back down. I thought I was done with all my cards for today, but I may double down and take Brady Singer over 4 flat strikeouts because he does have a I'm kind of straddling the fence there. At 4.5, I was just going to avoid it. At 4, because I've got the opportunity for an out with the push, it feels more valuable to take a shot that he gets 5, if that makes sense. Hopefully people understand what I'm saying. If not, hop in the prop shop. I'll explain it all.
The bat for DerekCarty has Brady Singer projected for 4.04 strikeouts. And I understand what you're saying. And man, if you look at the plate IQ, it's brutal as far as a strikeout matchup. Kwan, 8.3%. Rosario, 16%. J-Ram, 10%. And he smashes baseballs. Naylor, 11.8%. And he smashes baseballs. You got Gonzalez at 20, Jimenez at 20, Freeman, small sample, 3%. Hedges 22, Straw
No,
13.
listen, Dean, and this is
terrible.
Dean, this is what I hammered today. When Austin Hedges has a 22% K rate, you know you're in trouble. Because historically, going to be around against righties. 22%? I mean, Singer should have a rough day at the plate, for what it's worth, in terms of strikeouts. But like I said, I am willing to take the over at 4. But I may just avoid it. I've already got the Singer under 18.5. I played very lightly today. So, I was up money earlier from today with esports and Euro basketball. So I don't give away profits. That's another thing, guys, in terms of prop play or DFS play. Don't give away your profits for the day. If you're up nicely on the day, don't go and think you're free rolling a monster or something like that and give all your profits away. And yeah, you could hit 100K, but don't do that. Live to see another day. All right, I'm not going to make this about bankroll management today, Dean. You go ahead. Take back over this show.
We don't talk enough about bankroll management, but it's a conversation that certainly should be had. Brian's asking in chat if there's any weather. Not to my knowledge. Roth will be on in about a half hour. He'll let you know what's going on. But last I saw, as far as his articles, not much going on. I could have sworn there was a twister that just ripped to the tri-state area. Maybe that happens. I don't know. What are the 3 states in the tri-state area? Is that like New York, New Jersey, and another one? What is the tri-state area? Are there multiple tri-state areas depending on where you are in the country? Like, this is a question I should know. I've never really thought about it though. Anybody? Oh, New York, New Jersey, and Connecticut. There you go. All right, so we got 2 out of 3. That's not bad. Meatloaf will be proud for sure. But maybe it's different. There's that one spot where you can jump through Colorado and Arizona and New Mexico. And there's a 4th state, Nevada. Did I say Nevada? There you go. You can just, it's like play Foursquare in 4 different states. I'm sure that's been done before, I would imagine. All right. What else is worth acknowledging as far as pitchers? Is there anything else we should dig into? We're still waiting on some lineups. There are some late games. My internet's acting a little bit funky. I don't know if I'm slow or not, but my laptop is slow for some reason. So my apologies if I'm lagging. Detroit, no lineup just yet. No lineup for the Angels. They're going to be somewhat popular for the Angels, facing one of the worst pitchers in the slate, one of the higher totals, I think, right behind San Diego.
With good weather, too, Dean. Good weather.
Do we have 89 degrees? Do we have a fire emoji in Ross Weather Edge? I've not checked. I've not seen one. I scrolled earlier, but I didn't see it if there was one. Did I get it wrong? They're checking.
No, they do have good weather. I'm saying it's 89 degrees. It's good weather for that part.
Yeah. Let's see. Oh, there's a fire emoji in San Diego tonight, by the way. And then we got a rookie pitcher for Arizona. Yes, and there is a fire emoji for the Angels too. Go ahead. I cut you off. But
I'm saying most importantly, Dean, Anderson's Alex on the mound, who's awful. That's the most important thing here.
Who's awful now? Say it again. Again, my audio and my video, it's getting goofy over here for some reason. Not really sure what's up on my end, but hopefully we're going to power on through. Say that again if you don't mind, Will. Yes. Yeah, absolutely. And, I see Alan in chat asking about the Ranger stack versus a rookie. And sure, and you never really know. It's the old Forrest Gump thing, box of chocolates. But, Hunter Brown's supposed to be good. Top 70 prospect in baseball, legit case. But he also has an issue with walk-in players. And he's not facing major leaguers. Now he's facing some major leaguers. Objectively so to the bottom of that lineup. Some of those Rangers could be quad A guys, I suppose. But, again, I would say the same thing I said about – picking on Snell. I think you can play yourself some Rangers. I wouldn't do it in a single entry or 3 entry max. I don't think that's going to a little bit off the reservation, but as far as if there's a 5,000, 10,000, 15,000 person field, of course, why not get yourself some Texas Rangers? Who knows what Hunter Brown's going to be? Eventually he's supposed to be pretty good, but who knows what he's going to be tonight. And I'm not going to discourage it. I don't expect them to do well, but sure. In the conversation. I'm going to pull up our consensus rankings, by the way, as far as stacks. Unless you got anything else to say, do you want to give the summary as far as pitchers?
Yeah, I think McKenzie has the best matchup. Snell has more strikeout stuff. Heaney is the high K pitcher that could get the strikeouts, but probably won't go past 5 innings. Most of these other guys you can scratch off. You've got Singer in a bad matchup against Cleveland. Webb in a terrible matchup against the Dodgers. Singer's in a terrible matchup as well. Lance Lynn is the cheap, high upside arm against a really good Seattle offense. Jose Suarez is facing Detroit, who's not great. I think Suarez is like the cheap high floor play. Let's call him the cheap high floor play. Detroit better against lefties, but still think Suarez has some upside. We're definitely not playing Marco Gonzalez. We're not playing Alexander. Brown is the diamond in the rough or the unknown flavor, according to Airheads. He's the mystery flavor, if you will. And
do you know the mystery flavor is just like the nonsense that's left over and they don't throw it out? It's like, I think that's what it is. Just like they just
that's what it is.
Left.
That's exactly what it is, Dean.
So is it always? I'm not an Airheads connoisseur. I just happened to. I feel like I read that on Twitter one day. I'm like, that's interesting. What does the mystery flavor taste like? Is it always different because it's different? It's a different combination of nonsense.
It's an Airhead, and I don't eat like Airheads like I used to when I was a kid, but it's an Airhead. Mr. Brown, I do think, for what it's worth, Brown will have strikeouts in this game. He will also have walks, and we have to hope that those walks and misfires don't turn into plenty of runs scored by Texas. Someone did ask about Texas. I have a rule of thumb. I talked about this on the morning drive with my good buddy Grant last night. By the way, Grant said you did a fantastic job dog watching. Thank you, Dean, for allowing the dog to keep his life while they were away on their honeymoon.
This is me, man. I spoiled that dog for sure. Yeah.
Shout out to Dean for watching. He was an excellent dog / house sitter. But Brown, back to Brown. I do think Texas stacks are viable, Dean, only because I do this against any first-time call-up. I don't care who they are. I'm going to stack against them just in case they have a rough day, have some jitters. In Brown's case, I think he'll have some strikeouts, but I also think he'll probably walk some guys, and we're going to have to see if he can get out of a jam. How much do they trust him, considering, they just called him up? We don't know. I don't think he goes past 5 innings. If he goes past 5, I'd be shocked. There you have it. That's my rundown on pitching, just to make it a little bit more concise without all the anecdotes. McKenzie and Snell are at the top. I think, McKenzie, Snell, Haney at the top. Don't worry about Singer. Don't worry about Perez. Lance Lynn is the cheap, high upside play. Jose Suarez is the cheap floor play. And then the absolute, let's call him bottom of the barrel play, is Brown at 5,200.
Yeah, I'm willing to play him as an SP2 on DK if I like everything else. I'm not really looking at him on FanDuel for what it's worth. We got a question in chat. We'll talk some stacks. Green Gang, where is Houston as far as stacks? Depending on where you're looking. Myself, Dave Potts, Cheese is Good, Mr. Tuttle, Head Chopper, we've all ranked Houston between 1 through 4, essentially. Houston fan, Head Chopper, has them number 1. No surprise there. But otherwise, Houston's like 2 or 3, depending on where you're shopping. And it's also because the slate's not amazing, and I don't necessarily like picking on Martin Perez. Martin Perez, ground ball guy, doesn't give up a ton of homers. You got to BABIP him pretty good. Now, that said, he's scuffled the last 2 times he's faced Houston for what it's worth, and Houston's got a pretty solid lineup, obviously. But as general rules, I generally don't like to pick on Martin Perez. It usually doesn't work out. He rarely gets his face fully punched in. Somewhat.
But he does get it punched in against Houston, Dean.
Yeah, it's happened. It's happened.
It hasn't just happened. It's happened in back-to-back starts against Houston.
Yeah.
This is his 3rd time facing them in 6 starts. I'm expecting Houston to be on to go full mode pinata on him.
But still only 1 home run. Like that's the thing, right? You got to BABIP.
I don't care about that. He's given up. Dean, here we go again. I got to bring up my boy Stephen Kwan. Dean wants homers. We want hits, Dean. We care too much about the home run ball. We want hits. Hits lead to runs. Runs lead to negative fantasy points for the pitcher. The more runs that are scored against the pitcher, whether they're home runs or not, lead us to a bullpen, which is generally not as good as the starter, which leads to more hits, which leads to more runs, which may lead to home runs. Houston has home run hitters. Jose Altuve, I'm not saying Jose Altuve is a massive home run hitter, is on one right now. If you pull up his game log, he is just hitting all the time. Every game he's hitting doubles, singles. I'm telling you right now, I don't care about the home run ball. Forget the home run ball. I want hits. I want runs scored. And Houston is definitely going to do that tonight against Martin Perez. I'm telling you right now.
You watch the Little League World Series. I got that Big Al approach. I hit dingers. I want guys that hit dingers. That's what I want. Big Al's like somebody. You want to feel old? Big Al is 37 years old. His kid right now is in the Little League World Series.
Yeah, let me clear this up to you. Because listen, when people call me out, I want to be right. I want to make sure I acknowledge what they said. And someone in the chat said, for what it's worth, he dominated Houston the first 2 times he faced them. This is absolutely true. I will not deny this. These are the facts, right? So I don't want to overlook that. Thank you, sir. This is something that I knew. But here's what I'm saying. We're later in the season now. Most pitchers are going to pitch their best at the beginning of the season. And that's not just Martin Perez. That's Scherzer. DeGrom is crushing right now. DeGrom's barely pitched this season. If DeGrom had a full year pitching, some of these other teams would be getting to him a little easily. Most pitchers, Dean, hear me out. If DeGrom pitches a full season, I guarantee you teams are able to get to him better at the end of the season than at the beginning. That's all I'm saying. Most pitchers are going to slow down a little at the end. It's just a part of it. It's a full season. So I get it. You're right. Martin Perez pitched 2 of his best games in the season. Martin Perez pitched better against everybody at the beginning of the season. Let's look at what's happening now. I'm telling you, Houston will have the hits. And once again, I see everybody talking about the home run ball. I'm not saying they're going to go out and hit home runs. I'm saying they're absolutely going to get enough hits and runs scored to chase Martin Perez out of the game. They picked up 9 hits the last game. I think it was 7 hits the game before that. If they get anywhere between 7 and 9 hits in this game, I'm telling you they're going to score at least 4 to 5 runs, and Martin Perez is going to be in trouble. His pitch count's going to be up early, may not finish 6 innings. I really like Houston. Once again, I don't care about the home run. I care about the hits, which will materialize into runs scored. I'm going to leave it at that.
How bummed are you that Brantley's not in there? He's like, that's one thing he can do is get some hits. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, my boy Brantley.
You love Brantley.
Gator Nation 50, my boy from Gator Nation 50 or lady. I don't want to misconstrue that. Gator Nation 15 could be a lady or a girl or a woman. He says, Chief, why are you yelling? If you haven't watched this show, this is what I do. I'm passionate about this industry. I'm passionate about these shows. I try to bring you the best version of the way I do it. I'm not Dean. I'm not Chop. I'm not Andy Means. I am myself. And this is the way I like to provide the intel. So I'm not yelling. This is passion that you hear. Perhaps I need to turn the gain down on my mic. I don't think so. But
it shows you're excited. You want to be excited.
Yeah, listen. You're not going to get this type of excitement on many 5 to 6 game slates, or maybe you will, because hopefully I'll be on to help and hang out with you guys. So there you have it, Dean. Get back at the helm here. And I guess they don't want me screaming. They're going to be calling me screaming.
You're fine. You be you, man.
Screaming A Chief. Screaming A Chief. Screaming A Smith. But listen, Mad Dog. If that's the case, Mad Dog screams.
Please don't scream like him. I can only take that in small doses.
Listen, let me tell you something. No, I'm going to let it go. No, Gator, I'm not offended, bro. Listen, guys, I'm not offended. I'm having a good time. This is what I do. I enjoy hanging out with you folks, man. I really do. All right, Dean, on you, my friend.
Let's go around the horn, knock out our fair plays, position by position. Just a 6-gamer, obviously. The big dumper, Cal Raleigh did it again yesterday. But Michael brought this up yesterday, and I was thinking about it too. I have no idea how to quantify it, what to do with it. But Seattle and Cleveland were at the ballpark yesterday for 12 hours or something ridiculous. They had that early game, and it just delayed forever, and they finished the game at 11 o'clock at night or something. Seattle traveled from Cleveland to Seattle. Where was that game at? The game was in Cleveland. They both traveled, right? I presume McKenzie was on an early flight and wasn't at the ballpark for all 12 hours. They typically fly the next day starter ahead of time. I assume they did that. Otherwise, just a miserable day all around. And you want to make an argument for KC that Cleveland is just going to be hungover from the previous day of just sitting in a ballpark all day and playing cards, whatever they're doing in the locker room, waiting for the game to clear. And same deal with Seattle. Seattle traveled from Cleveland back home. But yeah, just throwing that out there, I have no idea what to do with it, but just thought it was interesting. We saw big dumper Kyle Raleigh, who's just been shellacking righties this year. We know Lynn is vulnerable to lefty power. He's jumped up to the 5 spot today. Terrible ballpark, but who cares when he gets a hold of it? It's pretty good. Lots of power in that bat for Raleigh. Like him a good bit. Kelly leading off versus Snell, it's a contrarian play. I don't hate that. If you want to pick on Snell a little bit of leverage there as well. I imagine Stassi's your punt du jour if he cracks that lineup for the Angels. He's not great, but he's cheap. We live in the world of the salary cap. Haas on the other side's playable too. And the one that's really interesting is McKenzie. While I love McKenzie today, I think that he will give up fly balls. I know he gives up fly balls, and he's reverse splitsy. So I think Sal Perez is a really interesting play against him. I think they both can succeed in this game. Your thoughts as far as catcher?
Give me Yasmani Grandal.
Yeah. And that's that. So we're moving on.
Yep. Give me Yasmani.
All right, fair enough. Let's hey, we're behind on time, and I took way too much. So let's hit first. I'm happy to yield as far as first base. So you get your opinion.
First base, baby. We're pumping it up. Let's go. It's all about first base today. First base stacked. Give me Ohtani. Give me Freeman. Jose Abreu. Give me Josh. It's stacked today, D. I don't have to tell you. Josh Naylor. Christian Walker against Snell. I still like him today. We've got Vaughn in the 2-hole, 3,800. D. Any of these guys, Ohtani, Freeman, Bell, Abreu, Walker, any of these guys, Naylor, they're all going to be just fine. If I had to choose one, if I absolutely had to choose one, I'm probably going with Ohtani today against Alexander. If I had to choose a number 2, a número dos, perdón, if I had to choose a number 2 today, believe it or not, as bad as this team has been, I'm going with Abreu or I'm going with Vaughn. I don't believe in Marco Gonzalez. Mr. 88 pitch, 6 innings is going to get his butt kicked today. That's my pinata play, number 2, the K of the bidet. Jose Abreu, Mr. Vaughn, may even be back-to-back home runs in this game, Dean. Hot take of the day, Vaughn, Abreu, back-to-back home runs at some point in the game. Not going to pin it down the first inning or second time around. Maybe I should. You know what? Forget it. First inning, Jose Abreu and Vaughn, back-to-back home runs. I don't believe in Marco Gonzalez today against this Chicago White Sox team that's been bad,
horrific.
But I'm not buying into Marco Gonzalez here. Like get out of here. Let's go White Sox. Let's go White Sox.
Whenever White Sox,
let's go White Sox.
Start, I believe they did put up 13 runs the other day, and good for them. And we almost got a no-hitter out of Dylan Cease and his fabulous mustache, but it was Luis Arraez got him. I guess you're not supposed to walk him or pitch around Luis Arraez, but he's the worst person to have when you're pitching a no-hitter because he's going to hit the ball somewhere. And he's going to give you a tough at bat. And he got a clean single in the gap, and then he struck out the next hitter. Angels lineup is out, by the way. Stassi is batting 8th, kind of buried, but he is cheap. You got to hit Fletcher. Look, if you have the opportunity to get more at-bats for David Fletcher than Mike Trout and Shohei Ohtani, you got to do it. So you're leading off with David Fletcher, Trout, Ohtani, Rengifo, Ward, Duffman, Adele, Stassi, Velasquez.
Hey, my boy Herbert Good is being Herbert bad right now. He says the White Sox are terrible.
He's right.
The White Sox are terrible, Herbert. But here's my deal, right? I don't care how bad a team has been. If you keep taking them in the good spots, it's going to come around, right? Like, this is when you play the White Sox. You don't play them against Max Scherzer. You play them against guys Marco Gonzalez. If they let me down, they let me down. But this is the spot that we should play them in. We don't need to be playing them against Brady Singer, right? Like, Brady Singer's a guy that could mow this team down. Might not mow down Cleveland, but he'll mow down a White Sox team that's been playing bad. You probably don't want to take them against Zach Gallen. Why am I naming kind of this middle tier pitcher? Because they haven't been playing well. But when you get a soft throwing lefty like Marco Gonzalez coming to town and he probably wasn't there all night. Maybe he got Chicago early. But Chicago's at Seattle. At any rate, doesn't matter. I love the White Sox here. And look, our illustrious producer, Devin, has Elvis Andrus up there, who some reason has gone back to his Texas Rangers days and thinks that Cecil Fielder is in the clubhouse with him, Prince Fielder, and he bombs again. Well, he may even hit a bomb tonight. I like the White Sox. You heard it here, probably not first, but listen, if you follow this show, how many times have you watched me get on a team and and look, full disclosure, there's probably just as many times I've been on a team and they failed as when they've come through, but that's okay. I'm on the White Sox. I'm asking you to ride with me with the White Sox. You know the deal. Just don't play them against against top-tier pitchers. Take them against Marco, and let's see what happens.
We will see what happens. I don't know. I mean, I hear you. Martingale's strategy says, like, at some point, eventually it's going to hit. And you mentioned Elvis. Elvis did it a grand slam off like a shortstop the other day, so good for him. I don't understand why he's hitting leadoff either, but that's a whole other conversation. Keystone was just in second base. We got to pick up the pace a little bit here, Will. Crunch time crew coming in about 10 minutes or so. And they're going to do the same deal for the record. They're going to go
man. We can get through plays. Come on.
All right. What do you got as far as second? You were efficient at catcher, I'll say that.
Jose Altuve, Jake Cronenworth. This is what Dean wants, folks. He wants boring, quick answers. So this is what he's getting at.
That's not what I'm – and you're talking too loud. No, that's not what I'm saying. No, I was just feel free to add some, context. I love Altuve too. We know Dominion lefty absolutely smashes lefties. Crawford boxes down the left field line. Certainly appealing from the AMAT. I know Martin Perez, not a home run guy, not necessarily yielding him, but the tricky part again is salary, right? Is he somebody I'm going to prioritize as far as spends for sure in tournaments? I think dollar for dollar, the best play is probably Cronenworth batting fifth versus Ryan. Is that Ryan? Ryan? How do you pronounce Ryne? Is that Ryan? It's just a funky spelling. I don't know. What would you go with, Will?
I've already got my second base place.
What? This was a follow-up question. How would you pronounce the pitcher's name for the Diamondbacks?
I think it could be Ryan or Ryan. I'm going with Ryan.
All right.
Like Ryan Sandberg.
Well, Ryan Sandberg, I like San Diego as is, but if it's Ryan Sandberg, who's got to be pushing 55 these days, give or take. All right. Renee.
So Mr. Kurt Ben Gravel must have never watched the show. He said, "Dude, drinking that yak." I actually don't drink, bro. So listen, I'm always excited. There you go. Come back to the next show. You're going to get the same version of this. So, if you see I'm on the schedule and my style is not to your liking, skip that show and take the next day.
But Cheyenne asked a good question. Are we playing David Fletcher? He's another one of those guys leading off. He's a Will guy. He needs 9 events to pay off his salary, right? He'll get you a single.
But he does it though. But he does it though. I like David Fletcher, low strikeout guy. Good matchup tonight against Tyler Alexander. Now watch this, guys. You know how this goes. Dean's gonna mush David Fletcher.
There it is.
And he's gonna go yard for his first time this season, maybe second time. You already know. Go ahead and get David Fletcher in your lineups. He's going to score a ton of fantasy points today. He's basically Stephen Kwan.
Good for him.
He's Stephen Kwan for the Los Angeles Angels, and Dean doesn't want to play him against Mr. Alexander. You know what to do, folks. You know what to do.
Begrudgingly, if he's in my lineup, just know I'm not happy about it. I'd rather play Rengifo, who's actually got some power in his bat.
Play him too.
Yeah, I mean, but then like, how many Angels do I want to play? They're horrific.
Okay, and that's my point, Dean. Is Alexander horrific?
Yeah, it's bad versus bad.
Exactly. For the same reason I like the White Sox is the same reason I like the Angels. If they were facing a respectable pitcher, I'd be on the pitcher because they're going to strike out a ton. Alexander doesn't have enough strikeout stuff. He'll probably still get 4 strikeouts, but he's going to give up runs and hits along the way, which is what I'm most interested in.
Third base, it's expensive if you want something good. Like Witt's expensive. I do like Ready Power versus McKenzie and his fly balls. J-Ram is expensive. I don't necessarily want to pick on Singer. It's not a great ballpark for homers either. Love Machado against Nelson, but he's expensive. It is a great ballpark today as far as weather edge. And we have salary cap concerns. There really isn't. I'm trying to think who's the cheap third baseman. I guess Rengifo, Matt Duffy, Duffman. I mean, if you love Fletcher, you'll like Duffy. They're both terrible. But, salary reasons, I suppose, why you'd roster them. Well, what do you have as far as third base?
Let's see here. Machado is like my number 1 guy. Really like Bregman, who also hasn't been good recently. Don't care. I'm not playing Josh Rojas, obviously. He's 4,900. I don't hate Max Muncy as long as he's going to be out there batting balls against Mr. Webb. But yeah, my top play is absolutely Manny Machado at 5,900. I think, he's the number 1 guy and he should be. Been hitting really well. Good matchup for him. I like him a lot.
All right. Gonna jump to shortstop. Again, crunch time crew coming in about 5 minutes or so. Oh, before TJ comes on, let's get some likes. He's gonna beg and grovel, and he's gonna do a much better job than I am at it. Just hit that like button, smash it, caress it, whatever your adjective of choice happens to be. Tap it. And turn on those notifications so you know when a pile of football shows are starting as well. Hey, let's give a shout out to somebody who won a 1 week free premium in our live stream chat channel. Let's see. Looks like we gave away 2. Is that what happened here? We got Could Be Travis and Japper6 took it down. 1 week free of RG premium. How would you go about getting that? Go to the RotoGrinders Discord channel. When we happen to be running this contest, go to the live stream chat channel. That is a free channel. It's not a premium channel. And typically Monday, Wednesday, Friday, we'll do it during the shows. Not guaranteed, not always, but Devin will certainly announce it in the YouTube chat. Shortstop, go for it.
I'm convinced Kirk is a troller now. I'm convinced Kirk Ben Gravel is here to troll the chat. He says Logan Webb going to destroy them Dodgers.
He might, but probably not.
Can we get the laughing gif from all the guys? Man, come on, Kirk, don't do that to us, bro. And I'm enjoying having you around behind me. He's like, Logan Webb going to destroy them Dodgers. No, he's not. He's not going to destroy any Dodgers today.
We haven't mentioned them, just for the record. I think it's interesting. It's of note. But Muncy, I would say on Fanduel is a really, really good price. Once again, he's plummeted. He's down to like 2.5, and Gallo is like 2.1. Assuming he cracks that lineup, he's got plenty of power in that bat. If you want an all or nothing guy, he's going to give you 1 event or maybe 4 strikeouts. What do you have as far as short?
Yeah, I really do like Corey Seager today. I know he's facing Mr. Brown. But once again, Corey's not going to strike out a ton, so he's the guy that's at the top of my list. Obviously, Trey Turner, don't hate him as well. And once again, we laughed about it, but I like Elvis Andrus at 2,800. White Sox are squarely at the top of my list today, like my top 2 to 3 stacks. So Mr. Andrus is going to get played at 28.
Cheyenne question is a one-off Trey Turner or Kyle Tucker. Give me Trey Turner as the one-off amongst those two.
Listen, this is what we need to start doing. We give out the intel on the show, and Kirk wants to give his input. Just go ahead and plug him in. He can plug him into the live stream. He can make his case for why Logan Webb is going to destroy them Dodgers.
You're saying give him the invite to the StreamYard?
He says, we will see. That's what we need to start doing. Everybody knows everything. Put them on the air. You know it. Hey, bring it on the air. I'm for it. I'm for it. Like, look, if you've got intel or if you've got some information that I don't have, this is as much of an information business as it is anything else. If Kirk's got the information I want the information because he's telling me that the Dodgers aren't going to get to Mr. Webb today. And not just not going to get to, he says Logan Webb going to destroy them Dodgers. That's what he said. He said
it's a probability
Logan Webb
thing,
is
though,
going
right?
to destroy the Dodgers, which insinuates that Logan Webb's going to have an immaculate day pitching. Now, look, if he's got some information, I don't know, the Dodgers caught a stomach bug or anything like that, then let us know. Don't be the NFL, the NBA referee that gets the inside intel and then doesn't share. Or perhaps Kirk is actually the umpire behind the plate that's going to give Webb the efficiency he needs to mow down the Dodgers. I don't know, but yeah, I need to know this. If he's got it, I need it. Jimmy Touchdown says, getting a headache with them loud lips flapping, and looks like he's screaming back at us because he's at all caps. No problem, Jimmy. If you want to do this show, we'll give you the link. I'm kidding. We probably won't give you the link, but this is the way I do it. If you see I'm on the schedule and you don't like my style, skip the show that day.
We love your style, Will.
Back the next day.
We love your style. Don't change for anybody. Whatever. Everybody's not going to be loved. It's fine. No worries.
I know.
Yeah, it's everybody's got an opinion.
No problem, Jimmy. We'll see you later, buddy. Don't let the door hit you on the way out. Have a good one, okay? Come back tomorrow. I won't be on.
We got outfielders, Will. Before we step aside, I think Crunch Time Crew is knocking on the door in a few minutes. I'm not always certain. I think maybe 5 minutes or so. You got Chief Meteorologist Kevin Roth. You got TJ, and you got I believe it's DerekCarty. DerekCarty of the Blitz and the Bat fame.
Oh yes.
Give me some outfielders.
Yeah, man. No big deal. Of course, Ohtani. You can get him at first or outfield. Definitely like Ohtani. Like Ohtani and Trout are like, I mean, just creme de la creme today. Let's call it that. Creme de la creme. I don't hate Haniger as well. I know he's facing Lance Lynn. I still like the Seattle Bats a little bit. Haniger's got some pop. I'm going to play Eloy Jimenez today at 4,200. Love the White Sox. Definitely think this is a team. I don't hate Cody Bellinger. He's 4,100. Like him a lot today. Trey Mancini, 3,900. 7-hole. Don't care. Like him a lot. I talked about Vaughn already. Look at this. A.J. Pollock, 3,400, facing Marco Gonzalez. Get him in your lineups. This White Sox team, man, really like them today. And I'm just going to cut it off there.
Dodger lineup apparently just came out, and Trace Thompson's batting 5th. Does that mean who do we think is sitting for LA? Betts, Trey Turner, Freeman, Muncy, Thompson, Gallo, Vargas, Bellinger, Barnes. So no Will Smith and no Justin Turner on my kind of first look there. Interesting. All right. Vargas is probably really cheap as well, and we saw Thompson homer last night. Plenty of power. You're getting a lot of love in the chat now, Cheats. There's always going to be one outlier. It's fine.
Listen, man. It doesn't bother me if you got keyboard courage, no problem. But when I fire back, just know I'm actually live on it, and I will interact with you. Like I'm not, and I don't. And once again, I don't get offended. That's why I said, if you don't like what I'm doing, I'm not on here every day. You can just come back tomorrow and get your other favorite personality. That's why this company's so great. We got tons of people that work here and provide content. It's really no big deal. But if you're a keyboard warrior and you want to say something, like you can literally just tune out of the show. Like you don't have to say anything. You can say, "Oh, I don't like this guy." But if you say something, then if I say something back, don't get offended. Am I right, D? See?
Sure.
Am I right?
Yeah.
You don't have to say anything. You can easily. It's like if you go to a restaurant and you see it's full, and they say, "How long is the wait?" 30 minutes. You don't sit there and debate with the attendant and say, "Well, why is it 30 minutes? I don't understand. This is ridiculous." What do? You typically say, "Okay, no problem." You take your little behind, you turn it around, it's facing the attendant, and you walk out of the door. You don't say anything to them. So don't come in here, right? And then be a keyboard warrior and then say, "Oh, well, you shut up." You can just leave. That's all you have to do. You don't have to say anything. All right. I'm sorry, Dean. Back to you.
No, you're good. John wants to know as a one-off. You want
5 seconds max.
There it
You want
is.
Eloy Jimenez or you want Melendez as a one-off? I think you. I'm listening to you. I'm guessing. I'm not going to answer. You like Eloy amongst those two, correct? Oh, I hear is somebody smashing a keyboard. What's going on?
DerekCarty types like there's an elephant on his keyboard, so it must have been him.
Carty, you are a keyboard warrior. What did you? And you get into a lot of fights on Twitter. Is that how you smash the keyboard when you're fighting on Twitter?
Yeah, it's about accurate.
I just I thought I was gonna tune in for a chill holiday show. Like it's Labor Day. Everyone's gonna go. Chief is just flaming people, just coming out straight, destroying people, and I love it. I love the energy, man.
He's fired up. How the kids, Roth?
One is good, one is ill. It's just never ending. That's my life. That's fine.
By the way, speaking of the chat trolling, TJ, are you aware that there's somebody that has a "Did the Spidey bombs hit yesterday" handle in the chat?
That is fantastic. I'm looking forward. We need a Twitter account for that, so it can just be yes every day. Yes, yes, yo.
Was there even a Spidey bomb yesterday? There probably was there. I don't know.
Well, no, I wasn't on yesterday, so
no is the answer. Did it not hit? You failed.
Right.
I mean, if there was one, it would have hit.
Spider-Man takes days off. That's what I'm learning.
Well, I mean,
he can't save the city every day.
He is saving the city every day. That's why he can't be on RG shows every day.
I guess he's got to prioritize things. I imagine.
With great power comes great responsibility, Dean.
Isn't that going to be the tattoo you're getting on your arm or somewhere?
That is right here, courtesy of Kirk Dees and Dre. Hopefully, we're gonna pick that up in Chicago this weekend.
When are you going? When are you officially? You're going for the Fanduel Live final. And what is that? That's the 9th. That's this weekend, right?
Yeah, flight leaves Wednesday night. I'm gonna be staying in an airport hotel in Toronto, and then arriving in Chicago not like 9 a.m. Thursday morning.
Dude, good luck. When's the official slate? Is it like a Saturday slate or a Friday slate?
Friday. It's Thursday's the welcome party with for Thursday night football, and then that should be a lot of fun because I have 150 tickets for the Thursday Millie Maker on FanDuel. And and so that's gonna be a lot of fun. And then Friday's the MLB slate, Saturday's the Fan Fest with the concerts and the meeting the players and such. And then Sunday is the watch party and some bonus games for football.
Are you going to to the White Sox Stadium?
Yeah, White Sox Stadium, and get to walk around the field, we get 10 bats to try and hit a home run.
Oh, does Spidey have you hitting a homer?
Right, yeah.
Spidey likes my chances to throw a good fastball more than he likes it to hit one out of the park. The power is there. It's just I don't know if the contact will be.
Fair enough. Well, you're more of like a David Fletcher type. You might get a couple singles, but you take
no, I'm the opposite. I'm Joey Gallo. I'm hitting it out of the park or I'm striking out.
All right. Hopefully it's Joey Gallo of several years ago and not Joey Gallo with the Yankees. We wish you the best. Will, you got anything else for the boys before you step aside and make some way for the FanDuel?
No, I'm good, man. I'm getting out of these boys here. They can do their thing.
All right. Hopefully you're going to bring the heat for the Blitz show, right? Carty wants whatever sort of energy you're bringing today times 10 for the Blitz show this week.
It's coming.
Oh man, I can't wait. If you haven't been on a Blitz show, you must know that AD is the star of the Blitz, at least for the first 30 seconds. That's all you need to know. Just come hang out on the Blitz. Carty will do his thing, but you have to get the intro. That's all I'll say.
All right,
it's a good time. It's a good time. Definitely check it out.
Myself and Will, we're going to see ourselves out. Do hit that like button as you hang out and watch the rest of the show, taking you straight up the lock. It's the FanDuel sponsor, Crunch Time, Chief Meteorologist Kevin Roth. You got DerekCarty. You got TJ. If I don't see you, TJ, good luck this weekend. Roth, take it over.
Appreciate it, Dino. As always, wonderful stuff from the crew. And this is it. It is indeed. It's Crunch Time. It is sponsored by FanDuel. And generally, we've been pumping that FanDuel single entry series. Well, guess what, my friends? It's all over but the crying and the live final. That part's not over yet either. So just make sure you sign up for the FanDuel Sportsbook. If you're in a legal sports betting state, take advantage of the incredible bonus offer. You bet $5 and you win $150 regardless of if your bet wins or loses.
Keep scrolling a little bit. Keep scrolling down a little bit more. A little bit more.
That's just an incredible bet.
A little bit more. A little bit more. Hey, there I am. 22.
Oh, is this the live final?
Yeah, that was the FanDuel single entry series.
And when is that? Is that this weekend as well? This upcoming weekend?
I honestly have no idea.
Oh, okay. I feel like it is. So you should probably look into
That would make sense that they do it at the same time.
Yeah, I think it is. So figure that one out. Plus, don't forget that Andy Means is going to like pay for your kids' tuition, all the other things that he's offered. So, make sure you're taking him up on all those offers. Hey, guys, we are just so pleased to be joined by some of the sharpest minds in the biz. That does include the one, the only, the DerekCarty. He is the CFO of the BatX Enterprises and president of the Show. What's it called? The Bat Show. What's the name of that show?
The Blitz Show.
The Blitz Show. Thanks. You got to have a better name than that. But president of the Blitz Show. Carty, this is new to me. What is the Blitz Show and when can I watch it?
You can watch it on Saturday afternoon. It's me and Chief and Alex Dunlap, and we talk about football. We talk about who the good plays are, who the Blitz likes, the best stacks, the best way to get different. It's kind of a must watch. So if you haven't seen it yet, if you're a football person, Saturday here.
Okay. I think I'm going to get into that because this year I'm getting heavy in NFL. I'm talking $20 a week or so, maybe. That's a bit, $10 to $20 a week.
Extender.
Yeah, no, I'm getting heavy into NFL this year. I'm pretty stoked about it, and I feel like we're going to take down some monster tourneys because I'm just putting it all in, baby. So I will be checking that out. We also have the TJ. We also have the one and only TJ Zwarych joining us as well. How you doing, TJ?
I am doing very well. Feels like I haven't been on in a while, but I'm with you today. I'm with you tomorrow. I'm excited. And then it's time. It's almost football season. I'm excited. I have a couple questions for Carty. One, can I sub in if anyone ever misses on the Blitz Show? And two, what are you souring on Leonard Fournette? Speaking of Twitter wars, now that there's this new reports that he's going to have a lowered workload this year.
Yeah, no, that's not even what the report is saying. I'm not.
I only read the headlines, and I'm team no Leonard Fournette, so I'm going for it.
Yeah, it's a headline thing. It's like, well, he's not going to still be on the field 85% of the time he was for the last 4 games. Like, no, where this is live, I can't swear, but like, no duty. Like of course, like. They're like, well, he's just going to go back to the workload he had the previous 16 weeks of the year. It's like, okay, cool. I'm good with that. That's what I'm projecting anyway.
Yeah. Okay. And to answer the first question, is TJ allowed on if you need a sub in the Blitz Show?
Yeah. So every once in a while, someone has to miss and we look for subs. So yeah, we'll definitely, we'll keep you on the list.
If I make one all year, I'm going to be a happy guy.
All right. I love it.
I feel like that can happen. Hey guys, we got to talk about this slate because we've been talking nonsense for 20 minutes, honestly, and the people want the content. There is no weather issues. There is great weather hitting. Colorado, winds are blowing in, but it's hot and it's Coors, so who cares? And then in the LA games, it's hot, winds are blowing out. LA being right. There's still the Dodgers and Angels playing, right?
Yep.
So same deal in both. Good hitting weather in both spots. That's my whole part of the show. I'm out after that. So, Carty, can you break down the slate for us? Because we've got lock at 25 minutes or so.
Yeah, it's it's kind of a smaller slate, obviously split slate today. I think some of the good stuff is going to go kind of under-owned, and especially on the hitting side, after you get past the first couple of teams, everything else is the same. So I think there is a lot of good ways to get different, a lot of ways to get leverage. It's kind of an interesting slate like that.
Okay. All right. Let's dive into it and let's start talking about some pitchers here. So Carty, if you don't mind giving us your cash thoughts and what the bat thinks. And of course we'll get TJ's takes for cash and GPPs as well.
Yeah. Tier 1 is Blake Snell all by himself.
Oh.
He's I don't think it's going to be a surprise. He's going to be the highest owned guy. He's probably the most talented pitcher on this slate. He's facing the Arizona Diamondbacks, who are not very good, and he's a good pitcher. So play Blake Snell in all of your cash games on all sites. On DraftKings, there's more of a discussion of who you're going to pair him with. I don't think there's a clear SP2. I think you can play Lance Lynn for sure. He's kind of like the next best guy on the slate. Like, he's good. The leash is usually pretty long. He's against Seattle. It's a park upgrade for him.
The price tag looks pretty good on DK. He's under 8K.
Yeah, the price tag on DK is really good at 7.9K. So I like Lynn. I think you can also consider going cheaper, though. Like, if you want to play Jose Suarez against Detroit for 7K, that's fine because Detroit is horrible. If you want to go even cheaper and play Hunter Brown against the Texas Rangers, he's 5.2K, and he's, he projects for 15 points in the bat. So that's really good. I think any of those three guys are fine. In GPPs, that's kind of my pool. You can throw Tristan McKenzie into the mix. Maybe you can throw, maybe like a Brady Singer or a Marco Gonzalez, but honestly, I'd probably just keep it tight today. It's probably like Snell, Lynn, McKenzie, Suarez, Brown. Haney's fine. Like, I know he's got some tags in HQ and like people like Haney, but I do think the upside for Haney's limited. Like, they keep him around 85 or 90 pitches. That's been enough for him to get there in some games, but I just don't love it. Guys with short leashes, they really have to be hyper efficient to get there. You're not getting a super discount. So I'm probably out on Haney.
Okay, real quick on Hunter Brown, is that the prospect that the Astros just called up, or is that someone else I'm thinking of?
That is exactly who it is.
Yeah, that's this is his first major league start.
So do we know like what he has done? Can he get strikeouts? Or are we like, do we have any expectations for this kid, or is it just, hey, cheap price, nobody knows, let's see?
I mean, you never know with a prospect. The bat thinks he's like probably pretty good. Not like amazing, but like probably pretty good.
Pretty good for that price sounds really good. So
yeah.
I am intrigued. TJ, what are your plans here at pitching? And does it include Mr. Hunter Brown?
It does include Mr. Hunter Brown. We have some pitchers who are projecting pretty well, but it's really a gross looking pitching slate. Blake Snell is facing an Arizona team that I feel like, even though Blake Snell is good, he's still facing an Arizona lineup that 7 of their 9 batters project for under a 20% strikeout rate. Then you have Lance Lynn facing a very dangerous Seattle team. Andrew Heaney gives up over 200 ISO to right-handed bats, and he's going to be facing probably 7 or 8 of them. And so I think even on like FanDuel, you can take shots on guys like Hunter Brown where he's priced up, guys like Jose Suarez, Tristan McKenzie, I like in tournaments as well. I think you can play almost anybody. That is going to be that's where my pool personally ends. I'm not playing Singer, Perez, Gonzalez, Webb, Alexander, Nelson, but any of those top guys, I think you can roll out in a GPP and feel fine because I'm not that confident in any of them.
Okay, so on DK, where you're playing 2 of these guys, are you trying to mix it up with like a Brown and then a safer play like Snell? Or are you, in some cases, picking 2 kind of cheap guys?
I honestly don't think there is a safe play today. I think Hunter Brown probably would be my favorite target in tournaments on DraftKings. I'm fine with pairing him with Heaney. I'm fine with pairing him with Snell. Fine with pairing him with McKenzie. If you want to just get crazy, go super cheap and go Brown and Suarez, I'm good with that too. But of the group, my least favorite there, I think, is Lance Lynn, and Hunter Brown is my favorite.
Okay, very good. Let's talk about some of the bats and some of the stacks. And, if we can get a discount on the pitchers, that only helps really if there's a reason to spend up. So TJ, talk to me about some of your favorite stacks.
Yeah, I wrote in the expert survey today that I really think this is going to be a slate where it's not a pitcher who scores 70 and breaks the slate. It's going to be an offense that breaks the slate with 15 runs, something like that. And there are 6
Great
stacks.
hitting weather, man. Great hitting weather.
Exactly. And there's 6 stacks that I really like today. It starts with San Diego is my favorite. Both LA teams, the Dodgers and the Angels, are 2 and 3. Houston, Seattle, and the White Sox. Those are all of my favorite stacks today. And the Padres are kind of in a tier 1 for me, and the 2 LA teams are in a tier 2 with Houston. But the thing with the 2 I'm noticing is it seems like we're getting quite a bit of ownership today going to those 2 LA teams. And so that makes me like San Diego and Houston even more than I already do.
Okay, very good. Carty, you want to talk about
actually? Never mind. Maybe ignore that. I think it's kind of swapped since the last time I looked. Houston is picking up some FanDuel ownership now.
Okay, fair enough. Carty, you want to talk about some of your favorite stacks and maybe what the bat is seeing that people are not?
Yeah, so in terms of like raw points, the Dodgers are clearly tier 1. They're the Dodgers, and that's it. It's the Dodgers. It's great hitting weather, and they will actually, it looks like, probably come in a little under-owned. They're going to be fairly popular, but the Angels actually project to be more popular, and the Angels are kind of like tier 2. It's like the Angels and the Padres are tier 2. I like the Padres more than the Angels because they're going to come in lower owned. So Dodgers and Padres are kind of like the 2 high-end stacks that I like. Then after that, basically every other team except the Mariners projects the same, like exactly the same. And so from there, you just want to play the ownership and leverage game. And for me, that means the Arizona Diamondbacks against Blake Snell, they project middle of the pack today. Love an Arizona Diamondback stack against Blake Snell. Tigers against Jose Suarez, they're super cheap. You know, Suarez won't be as owned as Snell, but he will pick up a good amount. Love a Tigers stack. So that's kind of where I'm at today with hitting.
Okay, this is a fun slate. Like you were talking about Snell as like that's the dude, but also you love the stack against that dude.
It's a blender. It's a blender slate
together,
today.
I love it.
It's a blender slate today. You can play truly whoever you want, and it's fine.
Okay, fun.
You can even just put all the players in a blender and see what it spits out, and that's okay today too.
Play whoever you want. It's fine. Let's check the projections. Okay, let's go position by position. Carty, I do want to start at catcher here. Right, the lock is at 6:40, correct?
Yes.
All right, so we've got 18 minutes. That should be plenty of time. So, Carty, start us off at catcher, please.
Catcher is truly disgusting today. There's really not much to like. So you're playing stuff in your stacks, basically. In cash games, you probably just punt it with like Max Stassi. The Angels are good weather. He's got platoon advantage against Alexander. He's 2.6K. You probably just punt it with him. Otherwise, you're probably playing guys in your stacks. I mentioned liking a Tiger stack. I like Eric Haas at 3-3. You can think about him in cash. We do need to get their lineup. Last I checked, it's not out, so you got to make sure he's in there.
Just came out.
Okay, is Haas in there?
Green, Castro, Baez, Haas, Castro, Torkelson, Carpenter, Kreidler, Reyes.
Yeah, so I like Haas quite a bit as a one-off. I like him in the stacks for sure. Carson Kelly in your Arizona stacks, you know, that kind of thing.
Okay. TJ, what do you like?
Yeah, I really like Carson Kelly today facing Blake Snell in tournaments. I'm a big fan of that one. Salvador Perez, I think you can play as well. Eric Haas, Cal Raleigh batting 5th against Lance Lynn, I like quite a bit. And that's basically the extent of it. But I do absolutely love the Carson Kelly call going up against Snell, and even as a one-off or in a Arizona stack.
Okay, take me to first, TJ.
Freddie Freeman's the top expensive guy on the board. Josh Bell is my favorite salary saver here on FanDuel. He's 2,800. Jose Abreu is nice. Christian Walker I like as well. The more I look at it, the more I like these Arizona guys. I really like that call by Carty. I might have to do some last-second lineup switching up here to get some more of them. If you need to save salary in tournaments, I think Josh Naylor is okay, but I don't love some of this Cleveland chalk that we're starting to see on FanDuel because of how cheap they are. And then somebody I like in tournaments quite a bit as a low-owned option is Trey Mancini.
Very good. Carty, what do you like at first?
Yeah, I love Freeman in the Dodger stacks. I love Walker in the Arizona stacks. Wilmer Flores, I think, is interesting enough tonight on DraftKings at 4.1K. And he's not first base on FanDuel, but on DraftKings he is. Shohei Ohtani is expensive, but especially if you wind up going, the cheap pitcher, cheap SP2 route, you can afford him. It's lefty-lefty, but it's still a really good spot. And Ohtani is Ohtani, so I like him quite a bit. Over on FanDuel, I like Josh Bell a lot, like TJ mentioned. I think Josh Naylor is certainly fine. Yeah.
Okay, great. Take me to second.
Max Muncy is going to be our top second baseman today. And on FanDuel, for a while, they had him priced reasonably in the 3K range. Now I feel like this is like the cheapest he's like ever been. He's 2.4. Normally he's like 2.6. Muncy is great on FanDuel. He's going to be owned. but he's awesome. He's your cash guy. Javi Baez against Suarez, I like quite a bit. Luis Rengifo is also pretty good today. They're all in the 2K range. They're all really cheap. They all project pretty well. Ketel Marte for sure in your Arizona stacks. Cronenworth on DraftKings, I like a little bit. Fletcher on DraftKings, I like a little bit. Second base is kind of spread out.
TJ, your favorite second baseman?
Cronenworth is going to be my favorite, but this is a great spot to save salary. I love Baez, Rengifo, Ketel Marte, David Fletcher, and then Max Muncy obviously is the cash play. And then if you want to spend up, Jose Altuve is in a good spot as well.
Keep it rolling. Take me to third.
Manny Machado, top play on the board. I think he is my favorite bat on the entire slate today for tournaments, anything. And he's my favorite guy up top. Jose Ramirez is never a bad play. Alex Bregman has been hitting the ball well the second half of the year. You can play Max Muncy at third as well. Same with Luis Rengifo. And then Evan Longoria, I don't mind as a one-off as well.
Carty, third base.
Yeah, I like the Longoria call. There's actually like 3 San Fran third basemen today. You have Longo, you have Flores, you have JD Davis. There's a little bit of multi-position mixed in there with Flores, but they're all good. Various price points too, which is nice. So I think they're all in play. Luis Rengifo, we mentioned him at second, also good here at third. Josh Harrison as a way to really save money, I think is totally fine. And then obviously if you're spending up, it's Machado, it's Jose Ramirez, it's Max Muncy on DraftKings. FanDuel Muncy's still really cheap. Probably prefer him at second, but you can play him at third depending on your construction.
Okay, Carty, take me to short.
Trey Turner is the top guy tonight. Not a guy that you have to prioritize in cash games. You can probably get there on FanDuel if you want to, but certainly in those Dodgers stacks, I like him quite a bit. Javi Baez is really cheap on FanDuel at 2.6, but even at 4.1 on DraftKings, he's a pretty good play. DraftKings, the cheap guy, though, is probably like Elvis Andrus leading off against Marco Gonzalez. He's 2.8K. He's a good play. David Fletcher is fine, also at short. That's kind of the position.
TJ, shortstop.
Trace Thompson is going to be my favorite guy. Jeremy Pena is nice and cheap. Javi Baez you can play over on FanDuel as well. Corey Seager, I think, is very interesting for tournaments. Great hitter that not many people are going to get to today. I find myself saving some salary with David Fletcher on FanDuel, even though I don't like it. He's leading off with a bunch of great hitters behind him. So even though all he does is get on base, that's really all he should have to do if I like these other Angels hitters as well.
Fair enough. All right, take us to the outfield, close it out, and we'll still have plenty of time for some QQs.
15 likes away from the Spidey Bomb, so make sure you hit that like button so we can dish that out. Mike Trout is the top play on the board today. Manny Machado is my favorite for tournaments, but Mike Trout is the best play on the board. We have just a wild group of outfielders today with Trout, Soto, Ohtani, Alvarez, Betts. Unbelievable plays in the upper tier. But then if you look at the mid tier a little bit cheaper, you have Taylor Ward, Eloy Jimenez, Luis Robert, just great plays that you can get to without having to spend very much either. I like guys like Julio Rodriguez in tournaments, and I don't think many people are going to get there. Same with Mitch Haniger. I like a Seattle stack quite a bit in tournaments today. And then we got the Dodgers lineup recently, and Trace Thompson is batting 5th today, and it's against a righty, so we don't have to worry about any pinch hit risk. And so Trace Thompson is probably my favorite cheap salary saver on the board.
Okay, excellent. Carty, outfield. There's multiple tiers here you can go. Which tier are you targeting?
Yeah, I like a lot of the same guys, mostly the upper tier because I think you're going to have money today, at least in cash, like all the Angels guys, Trout and Ohtani in particular, but Taylor Ward is good. Who's the other cheap guy? Joe Adell. Joe Adell's 2.3 on FanDuel or on DraftKings rather. They're all the Angels guys are good. Soto is fantastic. Mookie Betts in your Dodgers stacks. You can think about like Stone Garrett maybe in your Arizona stacks because I like them quite a bit. but yeah, the Detroit guys obviously in the Detroit stacks, and that's kind of it. Joey Gallo I like quite a bit, either as a one-off or in the Dodgers stacks. That's outfield. You don't have to overthink it too much.
Okay. That sounds good. We got a question in, and it's the usual question that I was going to ask at this time anyway, which is DK single entry or FanDuel single entry, since this is a FanDuel sponsored show. Single entry, you got one stack to win it all. Carty, where are you going to go with that stack?
I mean, I think Dodgers is the easy answer, but I'm going to say Arizona.
Very nice. TJ, you get one stack to win it all. I feel like there's a lot of good, kind of sneaky stuff that you could win with, but what's your favorite?
My favorite is the Padres, and my sneaky one is Seattle.
Very nice. Okay, good stuff, gentlemen. Let's get to some QQs, and I'm going to pull up the old RG Discord. If you are not on the RG Discord, there's no reason for that. You should be. You don't have to pay for it, although you do have to pay to get in the current. No, that's free too. So go ahead, jump in. You want to get in the RG Discord, spot to be. It's where the party's at.
And if you want this stuff to stay free, hit the like button. We're 9 away from our Spidey Bomb.
I mean, you gotta do that. You get the Spidey Bomb. There's somebody in chat that's literally named "Did the Spidey Bomb hit?" So he's got to hit the like so that he can say yes or no tomorrow.
Exactly. Like that would be so disappointing if somebody put in all the work to make that account and then we don't even get enough likes to do it. Like
it'd be awful.
Just out of the goodness of your heart.
The troops. He should be the one being like, smash that like button. We got to get a Spidey Bomb, just so he has something to report on. Okay, let's get to some QQs. FanDuel Cash, Carty, I'm starting with you. 3v3, Tyler Freeman, Ward Ohtani versus Fletcher Profar Machado.
I need you to repeat that for me. What was the?
It's Tyler Freeman, Ward, and Ohtani.
I can't understand the first thing you're saying. Tyler Freeman?
That's what it says. Is that not a dude?
Is that a guy?
It is. He is hitting. He's minimum price hitting 7th for Cleveland.
Oh, yes, he is. Okay, continue.
All right. So some random dude that neither of us know, who's mid-price hitting 7th for Cleveland, Ward and Ohtani, or Fletcher Profar Machado. First one. It's the first one.
It's probably the first one, but like, there's got to be someone better than Tyler Freeman.
Yeah. All right. Big Show Brandon says, TJ, spread thin at pitcher on FanDuel or go with Snell, Heaney, and Lynn?
I like spreading thin today. I like mixing in Hunter Brown, Jose Suarez, Tristan McKenzie.
Very nice. Okay. FanDuel Cash, Carty, this one's for you from Mlb Dfs. Ward and Jay Pena or Gallo, your boy, and Bregman?
The first one.
Very nice.
We have hit 100 likes, so we can Spidey Bomb time. Let's our Spidey Bomb today is going to be Eloy Jimenez facing Marco Gonzalez, a lefty who doesn't strike anybody out.
Very good. Okay, lock it in. Did the Spidey Bomb hit? I'm looking forward to having you say yes tomorrow. By the way, TJ, this really does encourage you to drop multiple Spidey Bombs. That way, the answer, is more likely to be yes.
And I mean, hit the like button again so we can give a second one. And our second one today is, I had 2 locked and loaded. I don't have a third one ready. So hopefully we don't get to like 125 likes or something, because I might have to think of it. Or Spidey would, that is. But sure. Our second one is going to be Jake Cronenworth.
Okay, there you go. It's a good idea to go with 2. That way, the probability of it, the answer being yes, just doubled there. Okay, let's see. We are at Raymond FanDuel GPP pitching. So I'm coming to you here, TJ. Suarez or Brown? He says they see close in price. He probably meant they're close in pricing.
Honestly, I like Hunter Brown better.
Yes, I don't know why I'm on board with this guy, other than I'm like currently residing in Houston. I know nothing about him, but I am 100% in on that dude.
I was very worried about considering him on FanDuel until I saw that his last game in the minors, he pitched 92 pitches. And that just, they needed somebody to fill in. So that, to me, that makes me think they're not really going to hold him back. And he had a 30% strikeout rate in minors. I'm going to let it rip.
That sounds like a lot of good things. Yeah, I'm all for it. All right, Carty, this one coming to you from Achilles. DK Cash, Ohtani Andrews, or Bell Baez?
Ohtani Andrews.
That was quick and easy. TJ, what are your thoughts on Christian Walker?
I would rather do a full stack as opposed to one-offing Walker, but I am okay with one-offing Walker as well.
All right, very good. I'm going to scroll up just a wee bit, see if I can find some QQs here from the old YouTube chat. We'll go with Kurt. He says, hey, Carty, DK 20 max. You want Jake McCarthy or your boy Stone Garrett?
I don't know if Stone Garrett's my boy.
He's my boy. He's definitely Cheese's boy.
They project very similarly. I think McCarthy's a little more expensive. Garrett's a little better value. So if money's not a thing, McCarthy, if you want to save some bucks, Garrett.
Would you?
You know what? There's
I like
4
them more in
minutes
his
left.
Jackson as a one-off.
Okay.
There's
TJ,
4 minutes left to make this happen. We're gonna do the first ever Spidey Bomb sub in the history of Spidey Bombs.
What does that
And we're
mean?
taking out Eloy Jimenez and we're switching it to Carson Kelly against the chalkiest pitcher on the slate, Blake Snell.
Oh, coming with the hot take Spidey Bomb sub. Holy smokes. All right.
And so Jimenez is bumped to third, but it's Carson Kelly's the number one Spidey Bomb today.
Okay. So, yeah, sadly, everyone already bet all their money on the first guy that you just subbed out, but he's third now, so that's okay. Let's see. I'm trying to. Any love for Yasmani Grandal tonight? Anyone?
He's fine. He's fine.
Not really. There's just other pitchers I like better, like Carson Kelly.
Okay. Did anyone do anything fun on Labor Day?
I got a fun night coming still. I'm hosting my second season-long NFL draft of the year today at my house with a bunch of friends coming over to do that. And
what are you doing to make it above and beyond like just a boring draft?
Honestly, not a lot because I didn't know I was hosting till today, but I am in a nice new house with a big TV. So I'm just going to be like, hey, everybody, look at my nice new house with a big TV.
That's good. That works. Yeah. Do you have food? What are the food plans?
We got a bunch of alcohol left over from the wedding too. So I'll put a bunch of beers out, stuff like that. And
do you have food plans? He goes, well, we got a bunch of alcohol. That's good. That's way to
bring your own food. I don't know. Like we'll figure it out. But and then I got a second draft that's online after that. That one starts at 8 p.m. And then I'm recording a podcast at 9 my time. So it's a busy night.
You're like the Ryan Seacrest of DFS. You've got like 9 different things going on. Good for you, man. Carty, did you do anything exciting for this, holiday?
I worked all day getting ready.
I feel that. I feel that in my soul. Okay. A couple more questions came in as we were eating some time there. Jay says, Carty, your favorite spend up bat in a DK single entry one-off. You get to pick anybody, apparently.
Trout's the best guy on the slate, or Ohtani, but they're expensive. I'd say if you're looking for somebody like a little more under the radar, I guess if you're spending up, there's nobody that under the radar.
You have very little time here, but there's a minute left until lock, and I officially like Andrew Heaney better than Blake Snell because the San Fran lineup is pretty terrible.
Okay. Carty, you want to come with a one-off that's not Trout, or no? You're just sticking with it.
Just go with Ohtani. They're none of the high projected guys, the expensive guys, are like going to be underowned. So
okay,
just go with the best one.
TJ, FanDuel GPP Profar over Muncy and Gallo at the util spot.
I don't love it. No. I'd rather Trace Thompson if I don't have him in my lineup already.
That's fair.
Or Rengifo.
Okay. Cleveland Picker says, Carty, yikes, bro. Is that your house? Ballin' getting paid. You don't realize what being the CFO of the bat entails. This is a massive corporation. And so that's not just his house, but that's actually a penthouse. He lives in Manhattan.
This is my closet.
That's his, yeah, broadcasting from his closet. Yeah. It's a backdrop. You live in what, Jersey? Am I making that up?
Yeah.
Yeah, you live in Jersey. Do you see New York when you live in Jersey? Because, Jersey's got a bad rap. Everyone's like, oh, Jersey, oh, God. Do you see New York City and do you think, oh, one day? Or are you like, I don't like New York City? Like, how's that?
No, I've made multiple decisions in my life not to move to New York City.
And you're okay with that? You're proud of that?
Yeah, no, I wouldn't want to live in a city.
Yeah. And do you live in Jersey, like where you commute or, or within range?
I commute from my bedroom to my office across the hall.
But like, can you see New York City? Are you basically just like a suburb of New York City, or you're your own thing? You don't go there?
No, I'm like down near the beach. Like I can't see New York City. It's like a couple hours by train.
Gotcha. Okay. So yeah, you're in a whole different world then.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm just curious.
What part of Texas are you, Roth?
I'm in Houston right now.
You're in Houston?
Which is a great spot to visit if you like getting stabbed.
There was
I won't be coming to visit you.
of a million people just is in the middle of a mass stabbing that's gone on over the last 2 days.
I did see that in the news. I'm sorry to hear that. And that's a wild story.
Right?
Yeah.
Like that's so weird. Like they're just like, we've been getting emergency alerts for the last 2 days constantly. They just sent another one saying that one of the two guys who's been doing all the stabbing has died. But like,
but the
it's
fact
crazy.
Is
it's been 2 days and 2 people, and they're just still running around. They still haven't found the one guy.
It's pretty crazy that, like one crazy person doing literally anything, you could be like, yeah, sure, I could see it. People are crazy. But 2 people, I think they're brothers, to be doing something like that. That's pretty wild. But anyways, Houston, I love Houston. In case anyone here is from Houston, it's just ugly and a little dangerous, but it's really chill and really laid back. So I love Houston for that. And my house is bombed because, it's cheap around these parts. So I think we can end it on that, guys. We did all the things. Carty, you feel good about where we're at?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Any last minute tips for my draft tonight? It's an auction. It's an auction with $200. You got any auction tips, Carty?
Draft for value. Don't overspend. Don't feel like you have to get, a bunch of stars. Draft for value. That's the main thing in an auction. Too many people are like, oh, well, my team's going to look so good if I draft this guy that are like expensive, and then you have no money and the rest of your team is crap and you lose.
You're absolutely right. I like it. And I did my first draft yesterday and I got the last pick. So I got the wraparound and the snake, and I got Devontae Adams and Alvin Kamara. So I feel pretty damn good.
I love that start.
Yeah. Very nice. Good work. Did you guys see, it's probably because it's been posted everywhere, these guys that were deciding their draft order, they did like basically the beer Olympics. You had to like do a flip cup, hit a beer pong shot, hit a cornhole, and then run the 40. And that determines your draft order in fantasy football.
I didn't see that, but that's
I love that.
Awesome.
It's so good. It was so good. So next year, TJ, that is what you're going to need to do in one of these leagues. Is that fair?
Yeah, I'm into it. I like it.
Yeah, it's absolutely brilliant. Hey, guys, we are going to get out of here because it is due past our time. So for DerekCarty, for TJ, and for our wonderful production crew, always working hard behind the scenes, guys, we appreciate you. We love you, and we will catch you tomorrow. You have been crushed.